Good morning everyone, welcome back to my Allotment Diaries. My name is Emma, these are my Allotment Diaries. I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and find out what I get up to month to month, day to day on my allotment plot, which is based in South London. We're obviously in autumn now, we're proper in the swing of autumn, though I've still got quite a few warm loving plants growing, which is quite interesting to see what's going to happen to them. It's one big experiment on my plot, I'm afraid. Isn't everyone's? It's definitely a bit of a chill in the air now. My sweet corn's doing quite well. Sunflowers are still alive. I don't know whether I'll actually get a flower out of them, we'll have to wait and see. My pumpkin arch is probably on the complete level of extinction now. It's been completely taken over with powdery mildew, and also a lot of it's just dying back anyway. It's that time of year. Yeah, it's all kind of like winding down here, like naturally, so it's a nice time of year. So if your allotment plot works anything like mine does, around October time, end of October normally, is when we have plot inspections. And basically what that is that someone comes around and makes sure that your plot is being looked after properly, that it's 70% cultivated, which means 70 to 75% of your plot has to be actively growing stuff or covered or under control. And also making sure you're not doing anything naughty on here, like building massive fires and chopping trees down and, you know, building like a house basically. And it's a time of year that I usually panic about. I've never had a letter of cultivation, which is what they call it when they find a problem on your site and they give you so long to kind of rectify that problem. I've never had it before, but I get panicky at this time of year, and the reason I get panicky is because it's like the weeds get like a second wind at this time of year, and I can see so many like popping up now. So that's going to be my first job of the day, I think, is weeding. To say that getting a hoe, which is basically this thing, and if you don't have a clue what it is, here it is. It's got like a really sharp edge on it, and it's slightly like turned like that, and then basically you just kind of go underneath the weed and just kill the root really easily. And it's one of the best things I've ever got for weeding. It's so easy. I don't normally go on about like tools and stuff. I'm always just like, oh, I can do without them, but this is one of the best tools I've ever got. And it's just for weeding. It makes it so much easier and so much more enjoyable as well, because it is a bit of a long job, isn't it? I know. The typical allotment vegetable grower kind of guide says that tomatoes can stay in until the first hard frost, and where I am in the UK we usually get hard frost in November time-ish. However, I want to put stuff out in the polytunnel for over autumn winter. I want to have some potatoes, some carrots, some lettuce, some brassicas, all kinds of things, whatever I can fit in there really. And a lot of these tomato plants look like they're about done really, and I just don't see them developing any more fruit and actually turning them red in time. I might keep a couple of them, but I'm going to pick some of them and also get rid of some of my tomato plants, and I'm going to do this now. And the reason I'm going to do it now is because I want the space, and that's it. But you don't have to. It's not exactly time to do it, so it's up to you. So for example, these ones here, which I think are either cherry or gardener's delight, they're just looking a little bit shabby. They're getting some tomatoes, but a lot of them have been eaten, and I just can't see them developing anymore. They've also fallen down at the bottom. They're going to start getting diseased. That's the thing as well, you see, tomato plants are so susceptible to diseases, and if they get diseased, you can't compost them in the same spot, and you can't really grow them in the same spot again, because tomato disease is like the worst kind of disease. It just spreads everywhere, and I can actually see that there is something wrong with that tomato plant there, and that's concerning. Oh God, what did I do to that stick? How did I do that? Right. Yeah, it's a problem when you've got a tomato jungle, you see, they hide. Look at that. I'm not sure what's caused this. So this is something I have never seen before. This is quite interesting, isn't it? This is either a result of a bug, disease, or underwatering. The fact that it's like, if you can see, it's like circular like that, makes it look like it's some kind of bug. I don't like it. It's like an alien species has kind of marked this tomato. Very strange. And then these ones are much the same. It makes me feel like it's a bug. I think it's a bug. Because the plant looks okay, it's just the tomatoes. How weird. It's like alien markings. Anyway, safe to say I won't be eating those ones. Buy a nice little harvesting basket. You know how like people have got those pretty little wicker baskets that they put all their produce in? I'll just bring like Morrison bags and stuff. Tesco Superstore bags. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to pluck all of these and get all of the tomatoes off that we can, including the green ones, because green tomatoes make a really good chutney. And you can put them in sauces and all sorts, and even salads actually, and I quite like them. So we're going to save every single tomato, don't worry. No tomato will be harmed in the process of this. I mean, they will, because I've just killed them all, but you know, and I'll eat them as well. I don't think tomatoes can feel pain, guys, relax. I squished him in my hand. I just literally said no tomato will be harmed. I just squished him. Nice. Such a fantastic crop to grow, tomatoes. If you've never grown tomatoes before, I really recommend it. There's so many different varieties, and the thing is, they're a bit temperamental, like most crops are really, you know, so they need lots of heat and lots of watering and lots of protecting and looking after and stuff, but when you get it right, they just don't stop. They just don't stop growing, and you just end up with such an abundance of just tomatoes. And even when they're green, they're just fantastic. Aren't they just great? They make you feel like a proper gardener when you grow tomatoes right. And when they just keep coming, you just feel like, look, I grew that, you know? Makes you feel successful. Love them, great crop. Helps that I like to eat them as well. One of those things, isn't it? Grow what you like to eat. Can't go wrong. My stick's back now. Right. I didn't actually intend on getting rid of all of the tomato plants, but I think that is the way it's going. Because I've started now and I get really like trigger happy, I think. I just like to whack them all out. Whack them all in, whack them all out. Right, these look good. This has got that weird bug thing on it again. I'm not sure what that is. I'll do a bit of investigating. I'm sure I can still eat them. I'm sure I can. Or at least I will still eat them anyway. These are massive, these ones, beautiful. great big caterpillar. Do you want to see it? Oh! It's not that I'm afraid of caterpillars or butterflies, it's just that when I don't expect them and then I see them, that's when I jump. There he is. He's a really big fat one. He's got that yellow on him, I don't know what he is. But what I do know is he's a great big caterpillar. I nearly put my hand on him. Ooh. That's just the thing I don't like about bugs and creepy crawlies and stuff. The fact that you don't expect them and you're in the zone and all of a sudden there's like one there and you're like, oh my god. And now I'm getting all paranoid I've got one on me. Right, okay. We're nearly through these tomatoes and then we're going to start composting it all. Right. I think a couple of things have been really good in here. So the fact that I had this weed membrane down on the floor and the tomatoes grew through it meant that there were hardly any weeds at all in this entire polytunnel, which was excellent, really good. Also really good for keeping away blight, which is brought with the rain. It was easier to water just the roots because I had just little circles just to get the water into. So all of those things really great. A couple of things that I wouldn't do. Number one, I use flimsy bamboo canes to hold them up. Wasn't strong enough, they kept flopping all over the place. And secondly, I planted some of them like behind and I didn't realise how big they would get, and it was just really hard to harvest the tomatoes. So those are things that I've learned from this, but this has just been such a successful year for tomatoes and I'm really pleased overall. So this has just been great. I'm happy. Finally a crop that worked. So in here is the harvest that I got of tomatoes. The bag is really heavy. I'm super thrilled with that. You can see that there's quite a nice little variety of green and red, and I'll be able to cook with all of these, which is just amazing. So I'm really happy with that harvest. Like I said, you don't have to do this at this time of year. You could have just kept them up for longer. I'm actually quite glad I've cleared it. There's a couple of reasons. Firstly, obviously I want to get stuff in there now for autumn winter, but also it gives me a chance to re-secure my polytunnel and stop it from blowing away over the autumn winter months, because where the tomatoes have been in here, they've kind of been leaning on the sides, and I know that I accidentally snapped a few of my like guidelines and stuff, so I think it's quite a good time of year just to re-secure it basically, because we don't want a polytunnel flying away, do we? But yeah, happy, good. So one more thing I really wanted to quickly show you while I've got you here on this vlog is my cauliflower, which you know is a Romanesco one, and it's gone crazy. You know how happy I am with it. I mean, this is me standing here. It's absolutely huge. It's a monster. Well, I can now see the middle of it like this. It's looking absolutely beautiful, exactly like it's supposed to in the picture and everything. I mean, I can't believe it. But when is it ready to pick? How do I know that it's ready to pick? Do I just leave it as long as I can until I start seeing damage on it or something? Or like, how do you know when a cauliflower is ready? I just have no idea. But obviously now I can see it. I'm a little bit concerned that obviously like the birds can see it and other things can see it. So, because it's never just you, is it? Like obviously what I grow is not just for me, it's also to feed all the animals and Rocky the cat and the birds and everything. So I need to make sure that I actually manage to get my hands on it before they do, but I just don't know if it's ready for pick. So I thought I would just put it out here so that maybe you can tell me, is it ready to pick or is it not? Please let me know in the comments below. I'll be very grateful. He is looking right at me. Is that normal? Is that normal squirrel? Oh my gosh, they're so fast. Thanks for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog. I'm just trying to get down here like little and often, and then when I am here just like focus on one or two kind of big jobs. In the autumn time there's always a lot of jobs to do, so I just work my way around and just do it as best I can. That's the way that I find that I stay consistent, even when I'm not feeling very motivated and I don't want to do the work. Just by staying consistent and just tackling a couple of jobs at a time, or even just one big job or whatever, just gets it done and just makes you feel better, and you think, yeah, okay, right, things are good, things are looking good. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog and it gave you a little bit of inspiration, maybe a little bit of motivation to get out and do something to your allotment garden or your vegetable garden. I'll see you in my next vlog. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.